Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another live stream. We're back on Thursdays, and we got a lot to talk about today because we got a lot of G.I. Joe reveals from this morning, and then also on Monday we had all the Marvel Legend reveals. So I figured that'll be our main focus of tonight. Though, of course, if you guys have other questions, we'll try and eke those in as well. But first, let's just take a roll call of who's in the house right now. So it looks like we've got Toy Bandit was our first. Welcome. Double. Third. I don't know who was second. What's up, Everett? How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good overall. Uh, Sorry if I got a little bit of a frog in my throat. My sinuses have kind of been going crazy. If you believe it or not, yesterday here it was 70 degrees. I was outside wearing shorts. Felt like it was almost summertime, and right now at this very moment it is snowing outside. So that's just the kind of crazy weather that I've been having in my area. And of course that drives my sinuses crazy when the weather goes up and down like that. Let's see, Lord Vengar's in the house. What's up? Aaron's in the house. Will there be a Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch figure? I don't know. I've not seen anything for that. Obviously, she wasn't in the Doctor Strange wave, and I don't think we're getting another Doctor Strange wave. So I would say not anytime soon. But and I think her look obviously has changed a little bit since WandaVision, but we just got that WandaVision Scarlet Witch, so my guess is probably eventually, but as I said, probably not. I would say even as probably not this year, unless they ended up putting it out as some type of store exclusive. I could see something like that being a Target exclusive. The red figure. I could maybe see that, but nothing I've heard of for her in the near future. Let's see. You guys can't hear me again? I don't know why. Why I keep having issues with the audio. How about now? Is that better? Eric Stream, yes, that Transformer, his tank is pretty cool in my opinion. Expensive, but definitely pretty cool. I'm definitely getting that one. Mizzle asking any guesses on when the NECA RoboCop will be released? I Probably soon, and of course, Hiya Toys is also going to be doing RoboCop. Dale, what's up? Todd. Todd says audio is fine. Clay can hear me. And it's weird how like some of you say you're having problems hearing me, and others are saying like you hear me fine. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Alan's having issues on his phone. I'll try and speak up most I can. Again, like I said, I keep getting frogs in my throat because of my sinuses. Season 2 CGI next week, people. Yep. Looking forward to it. All right, so just in case, you guys missed it or haven't been online or whatever, let's take a look at some of the new GI Joe reveals. So these are the O-ring figure. I got to be honest. I got the first one. Yeah, I got the Storm Shadow Snake Eyes one, but I think this is probably going to be and I've got the Sky Striker coming, but I uh I think this is going to be the only O-ring 2-pack that I'm going to get, just because these things are going for like $42. That's what Hasbro selling them for in Pulse is $42, and to me, you just not get. I mean, and like when they first showed these, I thought this was gonna be like a plastic case. Yeah, I didn't know it was just gonna be cardboard. I was a little disappointed in that. So I don't know. I just don't think you get enough for $42 for two 3 3/4 inch figures. And since I have most of these characters already in that scale, I uh, I just don't think I'm going to be buying a lot of those 2 pack figures. Now the one in the his tank with if they do more with the Transformers, those I will get. What's up, Henry? All right, so let's just circle through the pictures from today, just so we all are on the same page of what we're talking about. So these are all the O-ring figures. Actually, I think I may have clicked on the wrong. On the right story. No, this is. I wanted to go down to. Here we go. So the folks on the panel today: Emily, the marketing director. So as predicted, the next wave of classified figures were shown off. Of course, these are only digital renders, but Zarana is getting the figure treatment, and I think she looks pretty good there. No real complaints. I, I, I will say though that I would have actually preferred we had gotten Dreadnoks, like the original 3 Dreadnoks, before we got like Zarana, but that that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure there's plenty of Zarana fans out there happy to see her right away. Dusty's looking pretty good overall there. They're gonna start putting up images on social media where they recreate comic book images, which actually I like. I've done a few of those myself. This is not this is not a real product. This the glider here is not real, nor the GI Joe headquarters. And then the best figure of the wave, the Crimson Guard. It's one of my favorite Cobra soldiers. So this is going to be a definite must-have. We'll get at least 2 of these guys. Now I don't know when this wave is going to go up for pre-order. Obviously, the wave before it just went up for pre-order today, but this one I don't have any dates yet on when this one might go up for pre-order. Probably at the very earliest, probably wouldn't be until like the end of next month, but it might even be a little bit longer than that. I'm not sure. Emily is the marketing director or the brand manager of GI Joe. She's basically the Dwight. Well, not really the Dwight because Dwight actually works. She's basically the does the marketing for GI Joe. Yeah, see, I'm right there with you, Turtle Dave. I just, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe they wanted to get some more female characters in the line before they started doing Dreadnoks. Yeah, now I take as I've said many times, I take all release dates, especially these days, with grains of salt. So I'm not saying, well, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, not these figures that here, but like the Zomat, the Zaymot and Tomax and Stalker Wave. I honestly, you'll probably start seeing them slip out somewhere in a couple of months, whether it's overseas or what have you. Just like we've already seen the Spirit Storm Shadow figures and the Cobra Officer already see some limited release. So I suspect we'll see the same thing with those. So I feel like what they're doing is they're putting these release dates as far ahead as possible, as essentially that's the worst case scenario. By then they should be available everywhere, but I feel like you're going to start seeing them pop up sooner. So I mean, I can't say for sure, but I really feel like it's not going to be next year before we start to see some of these figures. but again, limited. So like some people have found Storm Shadow or gotten their hands on Storm Shadow Spirit and the Cobra Officer, but most of us have not. That's great. Thank you, man, for the super chat donation of $2 and you $90 for a 3-pack and no new tooling. What the fuck is? I didn't actually look. Are we talking what, the Viper? Is that what? I actually did not look at the price on the Viper today, but I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Oh yeah. Ooh, ouch. $90 for 3 Vipers. Yeah, that is a hefty price tag there. I guess those blast effects, those new blast effects they were touting in the video, cost some money. I don't know. Yeah, I had not. I've been so busy today. I had not really looked at the prices when these went up earlier. So yeah, I mean, you get all these cool blast effects that you can, I'm sure, use on all your GI Joes. But yeah, $90 for 3 figures, and two of I mean, they're a little bit different, but we already have Cobra Vipers, so yeah, that's gonna be a hard choice. I hadn't really noticed that price, so I may end up passing on that one. Is that how much is it? Entertainment Earth? Yep, $90. Yeah, I mean, everything is just still crazy with all the shipping hassles and everything. And then, of course, what's going on in the world today with Russia and stuff. I mean, that's only going to make things worse, I'm sure. It's only going to drive prices up more on things. So, yeah, not a fun time, definitely. And while, just speaking of real life events, I've probably, like many of you, have had my attention diverted to mainstream news in the last 24 or 48 hours with everything that's been going on. But I just want to put it out there that my thoughts and prayers are going out to the folks, the people who live in Ukraine. I don't know anybody personally who lives in Ukraine, but that cannot be a fun time that those people are having right now. you know, I I'm not gonna lie, I had that, especially like when the live stream was going on today. I was like, yeah, if only we had like a GI Joe team we could just send over. Bean says expect higher prices and lower quality going forward. That's how it works. I don't know if lower, maybe in some areas, but no, definitely not better quality. You're not going to get more for the more money you're paying. You're going to get basically what you were getting before. But in some cases, yeah, you might see some quality cut here and there. That's certainly, I won't say is impossible. I saw people in the comments like bringing him up. Why? Why are people so infatuated with Bobby Val? I mean, I remember in the old GI Joe cartoons when they would go up against the October Guard, or in the comics, the Marvel comic series, which was Russia's version of GI Joe. All right, well let's. I want to jump ahead a little bit here because this honestly was my favorite reveal of the day, and I wasn't expecting. We'd heard the rumor, or I'd heard the. I don't know how many of you heard them, but rumors for this thing started popping up this weekend, and I had my doubts. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like some kind of repaint with like a Megatron head thrown on there. Um, and I think they did a pretty good job here, in my opinion. I heard some people like were like, "Oh, they just threw a his tank on the back of Megatron," and I mean, I guess yeah, kind of, but what are you expecting them to do? He's got to be able, this looks like a his tank when he's in his vehicle mode, and it looks like Megatron and G1 Megatron for the most part in his tank mode. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this thing, and I like how you can have like the Baroness figure, and I wasn't it had in the title it said Baroness, and I was expecting one of those little teeny figures like we got with the X-Men. The X-Men Blackbird, they had those little teeny Wolverine and Sabretooth figures. That's what I was expecting with this, and we're getting an actual O-ring figure in its own card back. I think it looks pretty good. So, and the packaging suggests, and they, kind of hint, they told us to go read the packaging for like a clue. And it basically says there's an Autobot coming, which I'm sure is going to be something Optimus Prime. So, but I actually hope that I think, first of all, I can't believe it's took Hasbro this long to do an actual transforming Transformers G.I. Joe. I mean, out of all the mashups for Transformers that they've done, this is like the first time we've actually gotten, they've done where they've repainted old GI Joe vehicles to look like Transformers, but they've never actually transformed. So this is like the first time where they've actually done a transforming Transformer, and it's amazing to me that they've took as long as they did to actually do this. But I hope they turn this into like its own line, like where they do a bunch of Transformers, with and like this to me is a good way to get the O-ring figures out better than like the two pack, the $42 two pack. I'd rather get O-ring figures like this with a Transformer. And because to me, this is just pretty cool. So well, that's the file card for the co-pilot that's going to come with Ace in the HasLab Sky Striker, who is now uh, Wayne Ruthel is his real name, and his code name is Failsafe. So a new GI Joe character. But yeah, I think this is actually ended up being, other than maybe the Crimson Guard, that ended up being my favorite reveal of the day. This is like a card game that they announced. I don't really get into this kind of thing. So we got some Target exclusives. Recondo, which I'm sure means at some point we'll get a regular Recondo. These will of course be Target exclusives. Bazooka, again, I'm sure we'll get a regular Bazooka at some point. Dr. Mindbender. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to be released. This might be the next wave after the Crimson Guard, because we'd seen listings last year of everything up until the Crimson Guard wave, but as far as I know, we haven't seen any leaked listings for the wave beyond that. So this might be our first look at the wave after, because I don't think this is going to be like. I know there had been, I think, some listings in Target system for Dr. Mindbender, but I don't think it's going to be a Target exclusive. Stalker. Crimson Guard twins, and I'm looking forward to these two. These are I gotta admit that's a pretty good pose for them. But yeah, that so Crimson Guard and that his tank were my two favorite reveals for the day. Dale says we need Bumblebee and Chuckles. Yeah, Hound. I could go with Hound. Vamp. Yep, definitely that would be a good one. Starscream as a jet, obviously. Lake says Hasbro employees look like mine back. It's a good question. I mean, it's probably because they don't have a SKU for 2 packs at retail. I'm guessing, but I don't know. I mean, I don't mind as a single release. Well, that's indications, which is why I don't think Mindbender will be a Target exclusive. But that what was it, Karmakura? I forget that guy. How you say that guy's name? I actually have that 3 3/4 inch figure, the ninja in the green outfit. That was the other one that they showed. Karma Kura or something like that. He was in, he was introduced. He wasn't in the original. That one wasn't in the original line. That one, that was a character announced much later. Well, we were talking about that a little bit ago. So 2023 is the release date they're listing for the Crimson Guard Commander wave, but that's because they don't really know when these things are going to come in stock. That's really, I think, what the crux of it. These things are all sitting out at sea, or they're still overseas and they're waiting to come over, but there's still a lot of backup, and then they can't release those figures. The figures that just went up for pre-order today, they don't want to technically release until they fully release the wave with Spirit, Storm Shadow, and the Cobra Officer. So we got to wait for that to trickle out and get out everywhere, and then they will release the next wave after that a bit while, because they're pacing. They try and they want to pace, the release of the figures, but instead they don't want everything hitting shelves at the exact same time. So um, but I feel like they put the longest possible release date so that, if it turns up earlier, then it's like surprise. But, they don't want to put a release date of like, you know, June of this year and then them not show up, and then everyone's going to be pissed and be like, where are the figures? They're supposed to be out now. So I think we'll see them much sooner than 2023, but I think they're just putting, with all these things, they're putting these release dates so far in advance just to give them a cushion, and then hopefully get things straightened up. I am, man. I'm terrible with names, and I totally admit that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't usually, you know, first of all, it gives you guys something to correct me on in the videos, which I know a lot of you guys like to do. But the other thing is, like if I had time, I could sit there and I could look up these characters, especially like those anime characters, Dragon Ball Z. I hate trying to say Dragon Ball Z character names and things, but I could go watch YouTube videos to see how they're pronounced, but I don't have that kind of time usually. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't spend a lot of time trying to pronounce the names right, and I'm terrible at a lot of them. See, Karma. All right, Cura, Karma Cura. There you go. But he was not a character in the original line. He was released much later in the line. Ridiculous thoughts. We need Super 7 to make Satan the singer. Now, I will admit, today's live stream was 2 hours long, and it definitely felt like it didn't need to be that long. But at the same time, I will admit that opening GI Joe video that they made was actually pretty good. I like that video. I hope they put that video up just as like its own thing on YouTube. Well, the Boy George song is "Comma Comma Comma Chameleon." Karma Kulra. I think you guys are making up your own pronunciations now. Oh, is it? I gotta check that out. I don't. I mean, I see the entire live stream is up, but I don't see just that video. Like they need to just like tr- post just that video. The original figure, that Karma Kura figure, if I remember correctly, came with a playset, like a little ninja Dio type playset, if I remember correctly. All right, you want? All right, I'm gonna play the video. I think you guys should be able to hear it. Hopefully, I won't get like a copyright ding. Turn the volume up here, just in case you guys missed it. So that's actually really good. Oh wait, no, I'm not getting any sound. What happened? It's hard to fast. The video's so long. It's hard to like get the exact.
Let's do it again from the top.
So yeah, I give him credit. That was pretty good. Justin says, oh, sorry, I lost Justin's comment. Oh, there it is. All right, did it not play? The other half is kicking ass. All right, well let's turn the tables to Marvel and Marvel Legends because of course we had the live stream, the first live stream on Monday. So we of course got U.S. Agent, which I was pretty happy with. Let me get down to that. So overall, this is one of the most solid waves I think for a Marvel Legend lineup. I think all of these are pretty cool figures. U.S. Agent obviously is my favorite, but Speedball is my second favorite. Though I will say I was disappointed that they did not include any kind of energy ball, speedball effects. And I don't buy that they couldn't have come up with something that would have worked. So I was a little disappointed in that. But the figure itself is pretty cool. Blue Marvel, Quake, what I'm calling Fortnite Thor, Controller. He was a classic villain. If you read comics in the 80s and 90s, he was a pretty classic Iron Man villain. And then the 70 model armor. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, that's just. I mean, that we were talking about this on Sunday, and classic look, good size buck. The shield looks good. I mean, that's just a nice looking figure overall, in my opinion, at least. When's U.S. Agent going to be? I'm sure he's probably will turn up in the next Captain America movie, but whether we see him before, I hope he turns up in Armor Wars. I think that would be a good spot for him to turn up in, but I don't know for sure. He could turn up anywhere, I guess. Maybe he'll turn up in Moon Knight. Turtle Day says if he could have gotten the Nova from Walgreens, he would have gotten Speedball for New Warriors. Well, do you have Night Thrasher? Because you got to get you got to have Night Thrasher. Night Thrasher is like the coolest new warrior. Lord Venger says Agent looks good, but Rhino is the one that he's contemplating. Yeah, the Rhino looked good. I have the Build a Figure, so I do like this one a little better just because I like how they got rid of the shoulder pads. But I don't know if I like it so much better that it's worth getting another Rhino. I haven't decided on that one. But I think he looks good. I like the shoulders here better than the Build a Figure. I think that's definitely an improvement. But and you get the two head sculpts, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm still up in the air on that one. With Doctor Strange wave hitting now, what is your opinion in the next Marvel Legends to arrive here in the U.S.? Probably this U.S. agent wave. I'm guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if this U.S. agent wave, doesn't start popping up overseas, within the next month or so. Stickman says I never got the Rhino, so yeah. If you don't have the Build-A-Figure, 100% I would say, and you're a fan of Rhino, 100% I would say get this Rhino. The MCU one, are you talking about? Yeah, that one. I saw that one went on sale over the holidays. I like that figure though. That I did. Their MCU US agent sucked. I had to have somebody help me modify it, but that Captain America figure was actually pretty good. But yeah, it did get discounted. Oh Snap says would prefer a silver shield. No, no, that I like this. This is my favorite shield for him. Um, an alternate head would be cool, but you know, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, that multicolored shield like that's my favorite. Yeah, favorite shield of his. He's gone through a lot of different shields. So like this will be my U.S. agent figure, and then the first one they did, the Bucky Cap mold one, that'll be my captain figure, my Steve Rogers captain figure. Toy Bandit. Yeah, Rhino was definitely seemed like a hit with a lot of people. So I definitely saw a lot of comments indicating that was one of their favorite reveals this weekend. I mean, anything's possible. And are you talking about the comics or the MCU? But yeah, anything's possible. So I mean, nothing that I've seen. I don't think anything anytime soon, but certainly down the road we might see that. Maybe, maybe they'll try and recruit him. U.S. Agent Wave Slave for September 2022 is it? Well, there's more. I don't know if priority, but there's a lot more Marvel Legends coming out in a year than there is GI Joe Classified. So yes, Marvel Legends is a bigger line. It's got more figures. It's got probably generates more sales. So yeah, I would say they probably do a little bit, but and again, I would expect we'll start seeing the U.S. Agent Wave before September. Actually, I take that back. Who asked what wave I thought I would see next? Actually, we'll probably see the X-Men wave before we see this wave. So the X-Men wave with the Bonebreaker is likely the next wave that we'll see. And that one we'll probably see overseas in a short period of time. And then this one, I wouldn't be surprised, if it doesn't come out that much longer after the X-Men wave. But I forgot about the X-Men wave, so the Puppyplex hopes they make a Black Cranston that looks good. I have a feeling that if or when, and I think it's more of when they do one from the actual, TV series, it will. I think, and the reason why I say that is I think there's more, because this one was a comic book version. They can get away with more things, kind of being more cheap with it, just repainting an existing Chewbacca mold. Whereas like the movie TV stuff, I think they end up putting more effort into, because Lucas and Disney really look at those, because those are essentially kind of billboards for their shows and movies. So if or when they do an actual Book of Boba Fett one, my guess is it will be on a new bigger sculpt, and will look better than this comic book one that they did. Oz Newton, did anyone stop supporting Hasbro after their second price increase? Well, I never. I'm not. When I buy an action figure, I don't buy it because I'm trying to support a company. I buy it because I like the product. I'm sure we've talked about this before with the price increases. I'm sure many people with tight budgets have to be more choosy on what they purchase. Is somebody boycotting Hasbro for a price increase? I won't say it's impossible, but I doubt many people are boycotting Hasbro um, because of a price increase. And the price increases are going to come across the board. It's not going to just be Hasbro. It's not just a Hasbro thing. So you can expect your prices to go up on pretty much all action figures sooner or later. I'm hoping the fact that no one is buying Black Cranston now isn't a sign at Hasbro no one wants the character. I doubt it. And I mean, I know people are buying the figure because I've checked with some retailers. I mean, it's not a super seller, but it's not like nobody's buying it. But but again, they will likely make a figure of a character that's going to be regularly appearing in these Disney Plus shows because Disney is going to want them to make it. Because again, when these figures, these movie and TV show based figures, they're in large part, advertising the shows that they're in, movies that they're based on. So it's not just fan demand. It's there's basically, they're kind of obligated to make figures on those things when they have that license. That's why you can always count with McFarlane Toys, whenever there's a new DC movie, I can almost guarantee you, unless it's like an R-rated movie or something, I can almost guarantee you it is going to get some type of action figure line. Usually with McFarlane, it seems like maybe one wave only, but you're going to get some type of movie tie-in with all those DC movies. And pretty much any company, any movie that's licensed their products out for toys, you're going to see, when there's a movie or something like that, a big entertainment property, you're going to see the toy companies put out product for that. I could see that maybe. I hope they, if they do, started doing those GI Joe Transformers as crossovers. I mean, I hope for the most part they don't do just like repaints of existing Transformer toys. I hope they're all pretty much newly, designed toys like the Megatron. I'm wondering, like I said, I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me that the next one's going to be Optimus Prime, but what is Optimus Prime? What GI Joe vehicle is Optimus Prime going to be? Is it going to be a truck? Um, but I would assume it's going to be based on an actual real GI Joe vehicle, like Megatron is based on the his tank. So what vehicle would they make Optimus Prime an Optimus Prime toy as? Michael wants, if you're talking about U.S. Agent, I would love to see U.S. Agent show up in Armor Wars and have him face off against War Machine, kind of recreating the scene in the actual comic books of the original Armor Wars story, where Steve Rogers as the captain shows up and fights Iron Man. So I would definitely like to see some type of showdown between those two. Obviously, it's not going to be Iron Man because Iron Man is dead. But War Machine, I would like to see face off against U.S. Agent in the Armor Wars cartoon series. I think would be cool. Chris, who's my favorite character from Transformers? Yours is Drift. That's a good question. Who's my favorite Transformer character? I I I definitely lean towards the Decepticons. I liking the Decepticons more than the Autobots. Um, and there's a few that I like, but if I had to pick one as my absolute favorite, I'd probably either say Starscream or Soundwave. Who do I think would win, Captain America or Black Panther? Are we talking comic? Are we talking movie? Uh, but I always got to go with Cap because Cap's my guy. So either way, I would say Cap. Well, we're getting Stunticons, new Stunticons in the Legacy line, or Studio Series line. I forget which one it is, but I mean they've only shown one of the Stunticons so far, but I imagine we'll get all of them at some point. Optimus Prime is the GI Joe troop carrier. Yeah, I would agree. It would be kind of a boring GI Joe vehicle to do, but as far as like if they were trying to keep him as a truck, that would be I agree that would be the most logical. Black Panther took out the Fantastic Four. He could take Cap. Well, Cap's taking on the Hulk, so Cap's nobody, no slouch. Not a huge Transformer fan, but there is a hovercraft similar to the Whale and a Jeep like Clutch. Yeah, Hound is the Jeep, and oh god, now I forgot the hovercraft. He talks like Merman from Masters of the Universe in the cartoon. Now I can't remember his name. Crimson Dynamo. I could go. I want to see U.S. Agent, but I wouldn't mind seeing Crimson Dynamo show up. Sea Spray. Thank you, Turtle Dave. I was getting on. I couldn't. Yeah, Sea Spray is the hovercraft. So now the original Sea Spray toy was like a little mini transformer. So he would have to be a much bigger Sea Spray than we ever saw before to be cool. I mean, if they just did like a little one as the, I mean, I guess they could, but I don't know. It wouldn't be as cool of a whale toy if they did it the size that Sea Spray is in the actual line. What are my thoughts on the character Hot Rod from the Transformers movie? What did Shartimus Prime have you asked that? I don't hate Hot Rod. I think he caused Optimus to get killed. So, and I feel like not only did in the movie did he basically distract Optimus so he got killed, he then grabbed the Matrix. If Ultra Magnus had been the first one to touch the Matrix like he was supposed to, then he would have been the leader of the Autobots. And then I never really liked how Hot Rod in the cartoon in the third season basically always whined that like he couldn't handle being a leader and he was always complaining that it was too much pressure and stuff. So that got a little annoying. I was glad when Optimus Prime came back to life and took over again. I like Hot Rod. though better than Rodimus Prime. Well, definitely, he would need to come with Cutter if they did the whale. I want to see. Let's see, for GI Joe vehicles that transform. I would like to see a Cobra Rattler would be cool. Um, Sky Striker would be pretty cool too, but I don't see them doing a Sky Striker. Maybe that could be the next HasLab project, a transforming Sky Striker. Optimus as a Havoc. Then we'd have to get Cross Country, and then there'd be a debate on whether Cross Country should have the Confederate flag on his belt or not, which I doubt he would. But I'm sure that would upset people if he didn't have the Confederate flag on his. I agree. Wild Weasel does need a classified figure. Scourge is a Night Raven. I would like to see a Night Raven. I don't know if Scourge, but I definitely would like to see a Night Raven. Wild Weasel was a badass, man. And like for a long time, well, I guess the His Tank had a driver. So we had the His Tank driver, which was, but the His Tank driver was not really, I mean, he was just like a troop. He was like a Cobra soldier. But like Wild Weasel was the only vehicle that Cobra had that had an actual like individual pilot, if I remember correctly, in the toy line, at least for a long time. Like GI Joe had, all the GI Joe vehicles came with like individual, drivers and stuff. Um, but like a lot of the Cobra stuff didn't even come with figures, and then the ones that did, like the His Tank had the driver, but not like an individual person. So like Wild Weasel, I think was like the first figure that came in a Cobra vehicle that was like an actual individual Cobra character. RC at Ram, the motorcycle. I don't know. I have to wonder though how hard it is to like design that. Like to take a GI Joe vehicle, an established GI Joe vehicle, and then design it so it can transform into a robot. Who's my favorite character from Batman? Probably Bat. Well, yeah, probably Batman. Tim Drake was my favorite Robin. Now I haven't read. I don't read a lot of modern comics, so Tim Drake was also kind of the last Robin when I was really actively reading comics. Yeah, I mean, with the camo pattern and everything. Yeah, I'm sure he'll come at some point. Well, depending on how long the line lasts, that is. I don't know. Those $42 prices for two, 3 3/4 inch figures, I have to wonder how many people are actually buying those. Are you talking about a 6 inch Serpentor with Chariot? Yeah, well, I don't know. It'd probably be around $100, especially with today's prices. Uh, I, I'm not I'm not a huge Disney character guy, so you know it didn't. They're not figures that I would buy. And out of the waves that they've done so far, I feel like that was probably the weakest wave. But this new one, which I'll show you guys in case you haven't seen it. So again, I'm not a huge Disney guy, so I haven't bought any of these Disney Ultimates, but just out of the three waves, I felt like this was kind of the weakest wave. But again, I don't consider myself a huge, you know, it's not a line that I can tell, oh yeah, that's going to be super popular, or that's not, because just Disney characters in general are not something that I particularly interests me a whole lot. But you tell me, what do you think about the new new Disney wave? Is it something you're gonna get? Everett says Hawkeye and Black Panther classic versions. We've gotten classic versions of both of those characters. One of them would, but I don't know if they do a Sky Striker. I doubt they would choose the aerial bots. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think if they did Sky Striker, they'd end up doing like a Decepticon. I feel like they do like Starscream or something. And that I agree. That one I agree with. If they did Ultimates Roger Rabbit, I might be tempted to pick up a few of those. Um, yeah, I was disappointed when they teased the Roger Rabbit and ended up being those reaction figures. Hey Quinn, welcome to the party. You're late, but thank you. Hopefully you're having a toyrific day as well. Yeah, the new Disney wave will be out in 2 to 3 business years. I'm still waiting on the wave of Thundercats. I've seen some people have them. I don't know if the people that had them were just ones that Super 7 sent to review, but I thought that wave was starting to hit, and I've yet to get any notifications that my wave. I got mine through Big Bad, but I haven't. Oh, I love the classified Destro Cobra. I mean, which Cobra Commander? But I don't think Cobra Commander is bad. But I am, the Super 7 ones look pretty good too. All right, Turtle Dave, take it easy. Thanks for joining in. I'm probably going to wrap things up here pretty soon here, so I don't think you're going to miss much. Got you, Gray. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, Ross is the place to go if you want to get those Toy Biz retro card back figures. Those are all showing up at Ross at discount. You just now got Lion-O and Panthro? Damn. I at least had the Slithe. I got the Slithe wave, but all right. Yeah, I mean, I'd seen like Fwoosh had him, which Super Seven always sends Fwoosh stuff, and I think Toy Bro had him, but I didn't know if Super Seven sent him his. Oh, come on, let's not make. I mean, I don't watch his channel that much to be honest, but uh, let's be nice. He tries. He does. When I do reviews, people would say my reviews suck. So Jaga was in the wave with Slide. That's the last wave that I have that wave with Slide, Jaga, and Captain Cracker. Jerry says he watched Toy Bro for T Cats reviews. I mean, I'll be I don't watch unless I'm looking for something specific. I don't watch really anybody's reviews. I don't even like watching my own reviews. I've personally never been much into watching toy reviews, which I know that's kind of funny, seeing that I've done a lot of toy reviews, but I usually I only watch super. I only watch YouTube for like tutorial videos. Like if I need to figure out how to do something, then I'll look up somebody's video to see how to do it. Like when I'm trying to set up, like when I was trying to set up my super chat um, here so that I could like show comments like this. I went to YouTube and looked up people's videos on how to do it, but I don't watch YouTube for entertainment, and I don't generally watch a lot of action figure reviews personally. Um, so I know you didn't ask, but I just kind of share my own thoughts. Not telling you not to watch them because definitely you should, but Arthur says, everyone tells me I'm boring in my review vids of Marvel Legends because I incorporate the comic book origins in their history. I think that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, when I've done reviews, I've had people tell me that too. Oh, you're boring, man. And and there are people that they'll do skits in their videos and stuff, and I've even tried that a few times myself. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess because again, I don't really look to YouTube for entertainment purposes. I just look at for information. So it's hard for me to do things like that since I personally am not really interested in watching that kind of thing. And I admit that I'm an older generation. I didn't grow up on YouTube. I didn't. I mean, one of the things that I always liked about like Shartimus Prime's videos is his big time letdown Spider-Man. I mean, that's and I honestly I think that's one of the thing him doing that is what helped him grow so much on his channel as far as subscribers and stuff is that was entertaining and people would tune in. They were less interested in the action figure itself and they wanted to see the next big time letdown Spider-Man. And I think if you look at people that have the more successful YouTube channels for toy reviews, more subscribers tend to get more views. It is those guys who have done something like that that makes it more entertaining. So I don't, if you're trying to be an aspiring YouTuber to do toy reviews, I will tell you that the more entertaining you can make your reviews, the better you're probably going to do. It's just for me personally, I just, you know, I know a lot of people who watch YouTube like that aspect of YouTube videos. It's just for me personally, I don't. So it's hard for me to kind of do it myself. Neil's a Pixel Dan fan. I mean, I feel like every reviewer has their strengths and weaknesses, to be absolutely honest. And then there are those guys who, they get the figure first. I mean, if you want, obviously, one of the most important things is to be one of the first people to have the review, because the whole point of an actual point of the review is to show you the figure before you're going out and buying it, right? So if you've already bought the figure, I mean, I know some people will still watch people's reviews even after they bought it, but still, for the most part, if you've already bought the figure, then why do you need to watch a review of it? You've already made your decision, because that's really what the review is supposed to do. It's supposed to help and, to make you decide, not influence. It's not supposed to prompt you to buy it. It's supposed to show you the figure so you can decide whether you want to buy it or not. So, it is kind of important to be able to get the figure fairly soon after it's released, or in some cases before it's even generally released. Um, but that usually means that you have to spend more money to get it. You have to buy it from like overseas. You have to pay extra shipping and stuff, and it's kind of more hassle than it's worth. And that, frankly, is why I don't do a lot of reviews anymore, because it wasn't worth doing that. And by the time I get a figure in hand, there's 20 reviews out there, and I feel like, why do you need to see another review of it? I'm sure you've already seen, like, a number of reviews. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, there's about, when I do a figure review, there's about 1,000 of you usually. Not even always though, but about 1,000 of you that watch. But I have like over 50,000 subscribers, and I'm lucky if 1,000 people watch a review often, and so it's like that tells me something. That tells me that you guys aren't that interested in me watching my review. So that's really why I don't do a lot of reviews these days. Are you asking me, or the copyright claim. They got their channels back, so I think they're all clear. You're talking about the Jurassic Park guys? Yeah, as far as I know, of both the guy that had his YouTube channel deactivated, got it reinstated, and the Dino toy review guy, and then the Collect Jurassic guy, he got his Instagram back. So those guys got their stuff cleared up. I don't know exactly if it was Mattel who reversed their copyright claims, or whether they just successfully contested the copyright claim through the various social media channels. I'm not entirely clear on that, but I do know that their channels got reinstated. Silver Surfer says, if not the best channel for news, I really appreciate your honesty and keep. Yeah, and that I well, first of all, thank you for watching. But yes, I it's very important to me to try and be, and sometimes that comes off as being boring or nonchalant. But I try and I don't try and present an act to you guys. What you see here is pretty much what it is. And I also I try and be as honest and open with things and how they work and why they work, as much as possible. So, um, yeah, I know it's not always super exciting, but that's what I generally shoot for. And I'm about the news. I've always been about the news. It's the reason why my website and even this channel is called Toy News. So, D Amazing, yeah. I mean, he does great pictures. Anthony Customs has been around a long time. Some people say he's too critical. Some people say he's not critical enough. I mean, everybody's got their own. Is there a toy convention soon? Uh, Probably, but if you mean if there's like a major toy convention, probably the biggest one, big wise would be San Diego in July, assuming it happens, which hopefully it will. But I'm sure there's like little conventions all over the country that take place on a regular basis. Robo is a very entertaining guy, and I give him credit where credit's due. I mean, you know, I don't know how he only does like one news video a week, and I don't know how he fits all the news in one video. But he gets a lot of views. I mean, he gets a lot more views than I do, so he's doing something right. B, I know you like me. You're always here. You're a regular. Robo, I mean, I know Robo. I've met Robo a number of times in person. So I mean, he's always been a cool. I mean, I'm not like we're not like best buds, but he's always been a pretty cool guy to me. So pretty much how he is on video is how he is every time I've met him. So is McFarlane doing more My Hero Academia? I've not heard of. Well, he's been putting out some of the 5-inch figures, like the ones he did in 7-inch. He's been doing in 5-inch, but I've not heard of anything brand new, especially in 7-inch. Maybe this. McFarlane's doing his Toy Fair thing this weekend, starting tomorrow. So, and then Saturday through Saturday and Sunday. So, I would say if we don't see anything from My Hero Academia this weekend, then probably not. But I've not heard anything specific at this time. But again, we might see something this weekend. What's an IP that I would like to have an action figure from that isn't currently? Mm, not necessarily a full action figure line, but I would, we've talked about this before here on these live streams, but I wouldn't mind seeing a greatest American hero figure. Somebody do a greatest American hero figure. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing a cool Bionic Man 6-inch figure. Somebody do something like that. As an actual action figure line, like a full blown line, probably Mask maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mask line. But I don't know how practical, especially if you're talking about 6-inch Mask is, because Mask is as much about the vehicles as it is the figures, and that would be kind of hard to do in 6-inch form. But Neil, do I miss pushing past other toy influencers at various toy shows trying to get picked? No, I honestly I do not. If you knew how hard it is covering those shows, um, it is not really that fun when you are taking thousands of pictures of all the various toys and having, and you're having to crouch down and your knees start hurting and you're trying to get the clear picture and you're trying to get, avoid the glare on the glass, and you're having to run around all the different places and then try and getting them up right away. I mean, it's gotten easier over the years as technology's improved, but I used to have to, I've talked about this before, but in the early days, I'd have to take pictures and then I'd have to run back to my hotel, upload the pictures, and then run back and get more pictures, and then and go back and forth. So it is not really fun. It is a lot of hard work. If that's what you're there to do, which whenever I go to those conventions, that is what I'm there to do. So um, no, I don't really miss it that much. And especially as I've gotten older, it's just yeah. If you want an honest answer, no, I don't really miss it. I mean, I miss seeing people and talking with people and stuff, but it, like I said, it is not a fun job to cover those conventions, and having to like barrel through all those people and stuff, and oh, it's it is not fun. All right, well we're over an hour, so I think we're gonna call it a night. But as always, guys, I do want to thank you for joining tonight. Tomorrow look for a news video. As I said, McFarlane is going to be uh, starting his Toy Fair reveals tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time or how many he's going to do each day, or exactly even how he's going to do it. I'm sure he's going to do some videos, but so stay tuned. And of course, we'll have coverage up at TNI, and again, I will be doing a regular news video tomorrow to talk about whatever's revealed by that point. Plus, we'll go over the GI Joe stuff and everything. So hopefully you'll check that out. Have a great weekend. Sorry, I'm actually, yeah. Have a great weekend. And stay safe weekend. And again, thanks for tuning in tonight. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification to alert it every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.